Pouchman here, back with another episode of this goofy thing. Okay, so the front end is done. I got the front axle and everything all glued in place and everything. I don't know if you'll see this, but I've got little holes here and here. So when I put the little half axle in there with a wheel and whatnot, right? We'll drop a super glue and then the wheel will stay put. So I've got that, right? The front end. And I was going to put a stop at the front end, but what's going to happen is when the front end opens, it'll just hit the tire and stay open like that. So don't have to worry about a stop. You still don't have to worry about it, man. I still got to do some painting. I'm going to paint the interior and whatnot. I don't know if I'm going to bother with that. Although you guys weren't even supposed to see this video, but here it is. I'm working on wheels. You know, I was gonna run with these little buds initially, and I'm thinking, man, it's gonna be in the junkyard. I don't want to, I don't want to waste some good wheels on a crappy car. So I'm going to come up with some junkyard wheels. So what I've been toying with here are some of these old black wall or white wall, old school white walls that I collect off old beat up cars. And I think that's what I'm going to use for wheels. So what I got going for the front are, I've already cut them down, but I've made me some skinnies. See that? Little skinnies. And because the hole where the axle goes is so worn out, oops, it's so worn out, like you could see this, it just wobbles on the axle, so that's going to look all funky. So what I've done is I've taken in I've cut this one down to a skinny, but I remove a portion of this nub here, the axle, the actual bearing, cut that off, right? And then, yeah, you can see I don't know what size this is. I throw all the packaging away, so I don't know. If you really must know, I can try to locate the size for you, but basically I just go and buy this stuff, sizes I think it might work, I might use, and I just buy whatever ones. I don't really measure them or whatever. I just kind of, my motto is beat to fit, paint to match, so that's how I do it. So I've got a bigger piece in here, so because the smaller part of the axle wouldn't fit. So now I have the piece of axle, the same material I used for the straight axle, will fit inside of this other part of the aluminum, right? So now the axle will fit nice and snug. You following along here? So that's what I've been messing with. This is getting downright silly, this car. I can't believe I'm spending so much time on this one stupid Hot Wheel. I don't know what it is, but there you go. So I just got to come up with the length of this, because right now it sticks out too far. You know, it looks funky. It's past the fender edge. So I'm thinking about gluing this piece in and then come back with my saw and cut off whatever I think I might need. So there's what the outside will look like with the two pieces of aluminum tube, right? Maybe, I don't know. So let's just glue it up and see what happens. So you can see my whole process here. That was kind of the whole idea of doing this, is you can see my kind of how I'm approach some of this stuff that I don't quite know how to do. It's just kind of a trial and error. So I got that piece in there, right? Oops, wrong end. So I took and nibbed off the little bit of a toothpick, get some super glue on it, and then let it flow down in and around those axle tube, right? And then we'll put some on the back side. Of course, I'm going to have to let it set up before I cut it, but anyway, you get the general idea. There you go. So there's that one. And then this other one here, where did it go? This one, right? So, you know, you put the axle in it. And it's all, you know, because it's played with for, it was somebody's favorite, so it's like the wheel just wobble around on there. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hog her out. But first we're going to take and cut this little nub off of there. And we'll just use the jeweler saw. Now these I don't know what these wheels are made out of, these old school wheels, but they're super hard and they cut real easy. Cut pretty easy, man. Okay. So, yeah. I haven't been getting any negative comments. I guess you guys are liking what I'm doing here. It'll take me 3 months to do each Hot Wheel. I'm just trying to do something different, you know, rather than just have slideshows or whatever showing finished product. I kind of show you the process and the way, you know, how I go about thinking about how to do this stuff. So, all right, so the wheel's all beat up. I put a little chrome on there, a little chrome, one of these little buds, right? Little Moloto chrome pen. I love them things. Take my X-Acto and kind of open that up a little bit. And then this larger tube, you buy them in, I guess they're foot lengths or whatever. Oh, this one's already pre-cut. Or started to cut it. So we'll cut this down. I think there was quarter inch length, right? There you go. See, so the two different sizes, one fits within the other, like that. See. So I used to use stuff like this on the model cars for shock absorbers, you know, make my own shock absorbers and whatnot. So just kind of springboard over to the Hot Wheels. So here, this big piece will go in the hole like such, right, like that. I think I made it flush though, didn't I? Right, did I make it flush? No, it's actually down. It was actually pushed in just a little bit there. But it sure is fiddly working with this stuff, man. I'm telling you. It's like, I need a little bit more super glue. A little tip, if you're looking for, like, I have a problem with my epoxies and my super glue. You got to keep your super glue upright, otherwise it dries up, you know, the tip dries up, and then you have a problem with that. And the epoxy sort of leaks out the bottom just from sitting. So I've been using these stainless steel pistons from old wheel brake calipers. Work pretty good. Just a little tip for you. And I've been buying my super glue at Harbor Freight because it's like, I don't know, 99 cents for 4 little tubes of it. It does the job. Does the job, man. Uh-oh. These parts are so fiddly. There it goes. They're so tiny to work with. I can't tell you how many times I've picked this up off the floor. All right, so super glue around that little part of it. And we'll just let that set up. But anyway, you kind of get the idea of so I got some skinnies up front, right? Little skinnies. Now for the backs, I've been using larger tube, right? I think this is 1/4 inch aluminum tube. So I've been making, I've done this for a while, making my own rims. So you take the centers out of any wheel. I've been using a lot of these geared wheels. I kind of booger that one up though, but in the process of trying to cut them out. But anyway, so then you can set your depth and you can make it as wide as you want, and then you just come up with a tire for it. So kind of what I'll do is use a regular 5-spoke tire. Some of them are like super wide, like this one right here. Some of the cars, it's just a regular old 5-spoke, but the tires themselves are super wide. So I'll take and cut the centers out of those, right? And then the aluminum tube will fit inside the rim there, right? So then you got the tire, you have the rim, and then the center, right? See, it's 3 pieces. It's real fiddly, and you can, you drive yourself nuts trying to do it. But it's an alternative to trying to source real riders and all kinds of crazy wheels out there that kind of get costly at time to time. And if you got stuff just laying around, why not? And you can sort of use your own develop your own method and stuff by which to do it. So yeah. So what I've been doing is I've been using my Dremel tool as a lathe. Okay. Right. You see that? That's my Dremel tool as a lathe. And let's go ahead and see if we can, and I'll show you how to make one of these tires. So you guys that have bought piano wire, if you guys have bought the piano wire, the 032 piano wire, thinking that you could make axles, and then you come to the realization that the stuff is really too hard to work with. It makes good axles, and it'll work if you use crimp tubes, but you can't really smush the end of it like you can the brass. So then this big foot-long piece of piano wire sits on your workbench and ends up in the trash can. Well, don't throw it away, because you can cut little pieces of it and make yourself a wheel arbor. And I'll show you how this works. It's certainly not, you want to drill a hole, unless, like these geared wheels already have holes in them for the spokes. But these are solid, so you got to drill yourself a little pilot hole. Okay. And just drill it the size of the wire, 032. Come on, this sucker's deep. Okay. There you go. Now, I don't know how this is going to work, because sometimes it comes out perfect, and other times it gets wanged out. So we're just going to fly by the seat of our pants here. Anyway, so you want to put a hook in the end of the wire, run the wire through the axle hole, and the hook, you want to find that hole you just drilled, like that. Okay? So now you have an arbor that you can mount in your Dremel. And by the way, if you have a Dremel and you don't have one of these miniature adjustable chucks, you're still dealing with this wrench thing, throw that stuff away and spend about 15 bucks and get yourself one of these chucks, because they are invaluable. All right, so this is going to be noisy, and I'm going to see what I can do here to try to remove this tire without destroying it, but you'll get the idea and you'll figure it out on your own. So here we go. And I use a number, the X-Acto knife with was it number 2 blade, number 1 blade? And I use it to cut. And you're just going to have to play with the speed. of which, you Dremel, because if you get it too fast, then it wants to melt. The idea is you want to kind of try to shave it and cut it without melting it. So yeah, you want to develop too much heat. So we'll turn this on and try it and see what I can do. Whoa! All right, keep going. And there may be a better way to do this, but I haven't discovered it yet, so... It's a lot easier making them skinny than it is trying to cut the centers of them out. That's the problem I was having with the geared wheels. I'd get to a point and I'd booger them all up. Come on, baby. These super thick. Are these things really? Yeah, I guess they are kind of thick in the back. Let's keep going. Dang. There we go. There we go. Okay. That one was real fiddly. Real fiddly. Okay, let's get our lathe out of the way. So you can see I totally boogered the center of it, which is no big deal. Save your arbor. But what I was after was the tire, right? So now we just have to size for the rim center. It's just a lot of fiddling is all. Working with, normally you throw these 5 spokes away or whatever, or just throw them in a box or whatever, because you really don't. They're just standard issue wheels. Nobody likes them really. But you can probably take the Dremel now. Let's try. Well, let's see. I need another bit. Yeah, why not? These Altoid boxes come in handy for come in real handy for storing crap. Where's my little? I don't know. Here it is. So it just acts like a regular little miniature drill bit, adjustable drill bit. One of the pitfalls of this thing, though, is it gets a bunch of crap gets stuck in the end, and it doesn't want to open all the way. So sometimes you gotta actually completely take it off the tool. And all right, now I'm doing this is like dangerous crap, right? Holding all this stuff by hand. I do have eye protection on, but yeah, it's, spinning tools, and you got to be careful. It's not for the faint of heart. Just a matter of trial and error. See what fits, what don't. I probably should have had one of these pre-staged, but I didn't. Yeah, it's going to need quite a bit more stuff out of there. It's going to take a bunch of time. I'll just try to hog it out the best I can. I mean, it's going to the junkyard anyway, so it doesn't have to look completely tricked. A little bit more. Okay, come on. Good grief. How about a file? Here's why it takes so long to do. I mean, a lot of you guys are doing this stuff in 10-minute videos, and you can see how long it actually takes to do this stuff, you know? Especially when you're full-on custom trying to make something out of nothing. I mean, it's one thing to just take something apart and repaint it, but there it goes, I think. Come on. Where's my hammer? Here's my plastic hammer right here. Quality, there it goes. Quality never, quality never. Okay, there you go. Okay, so there's your rim. Right, so you got a big fat tire, meaty tire. You got your rim. Right, and then you got your, what did I do the center? Oh no, there it is. You see, then you got your center. So you saw how cool is that? Right, so you got an old school 5-spoker, and then you got a deep rim. That looks pretty dope. So I'll go ahead and glue that up later, and then maybe I can show you the finished product for right now. Another thing I've been working on, and you know how much I hate fantasy cars. Right? Well, a buddy of mine got me a couple of Hot Wheels. He knows I like Hot Wheels. He went to the store, got me a couple of Hot Wheels. He got me one that was some kind of a dinosaur. And he said, hey, this is a Volkswagen. I go, well, no, it's not a Volkswagen. It's some kind of crazy dinosaur. I go, no, man, I'm going to burn that car. But I noticed in the back it has this little engine, right? And I noticed the blower belt assembly. And I'm thinking, hey, I got my little, you know, the engine out of the 55, which now the 350 out of the 55 now turned into a 302 for this Fairlane, right? But the front end of it, there's nothing. See the front? There's nothing in the front. There's no, you know, it's just open and plain. So I said, well, I need a blower belt for that. So check it out. I don't know. Can you even see this? There it is. So there's the blower belt, and so that will fit right on the, right there on the Fairlane. See that? I don't know. Can you see it? I don't know. Detail paint, whatever. So it gives a little detail to the front of that engine. Now what I used to make that, because there's all kinds of different, I've tried, where's that crap at? I don't know where it's at. Oh, this stuff here. I've tried this Alumilite stuff, right? It's the 2-part Alumilite to make your own stuff, and I don't know, I have a hard time with it. Anything other than JB Weld, I just can't seem to work with it, or so it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So I remember this back in the day as a kid, and they still sell this crap, Silly Putty. And the only thing we used to do with it, we used to take the Sunday comics, and you could transfer the Sunday comics to the Silly Putty, and then you could stretch it, and that's pretty much all it was good for, until I became of age and started modeling and whatnot. So actually the silly putty today, and this particular blob of silly putty is probably at least 10 years old. And I've used it for all kinds of things. I use it for masking, and then I spray, I airbrush, and then pull it off, put it back into a blob, and then you just keep reusing it over and over again. So one little thing of silly putty will last you indefinitely, right? And you can use it for all kinds of crazy stuff. So what I did was I rolled it out, and well, first of all, see the cavity here? I filled this little cavity with silly putty. I took a little ball of silly putty and packed in this cavity right here, and then I shoved it into the silly putty, right, and left there a little impression, right? Then I mixed up JB Weld, not the quick stuff, but the stuff that takes 24 hours to set. I don't like the quick stuff; it just doesn't work. So I took JB Weld, and it's real. The first one I made, the first little belt I made, had a bunch of air bubbles and stuff in it, right? Because I couldn't. It was the form was so small that I couldn't get the air bubbles out of it. So I took the JB Weld, mixed it all up, then I put in some acetone, right? Mixed in some acetone, and that made the JB Weld real soupy. So then I worked it in with a fine toothpick into the mold and let it set overnight. So today when I cracked it open, I ended up with the blower belt assembly, but it's flexible like rubber, right? So if you mix JB Weld and acetone, I guess it doesn't allow it. The JB Weld will cure, but it cures in a flexible fashion. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it got all the detail and everything from my little mold thing. So I just share that with you. I posted on Instagram about that situation. So anyway, I guess that's it for now. Shoot, we're going to 27 minutes. And maybe when the next time you see this car, I'll have it done on the whirly-go-round, and then maybe we'll start a new project. But Poochman out for now. Remember, don't take any wooden nickels, because nobody wants a wooden nickel.